Before I open the hearing for the Barnstable Conservation Commission, I would like to ask Louise to do a roll call for the quorum purpose.
Abedili.
Present.
Foster, present. Lee.
Present.
Sampu.
Present.
Hearn and Tangley are absent tonight, but we have a quorum of 4, Mr. Chairman.
And then we also have staff, Ed Hoop and Kim.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Present.
Present.
Acting under the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and or Chapter 237 of the Code of Town of Barnstable. The Barnstable Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, January the 7th, 2025, at 6:30 p.m. for the application of Todd Cochran, Linda Rand, Michael Bronstein, 88 Hayes Road LLC, Nicholas David Samuel, and Erica Lynch Pearsons, Wildaway Realty Trust. The hearing is being recorded and broadcast on the Town of Barnstable's Government's Access Channel. The plans and application are on file and may be reviewed by scheduling appointments by sending email requests to @hoops@230 South Street, Hyannis. In accordance with the Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 20, please let the chair know if anyone is recording this meeting. Hearing none. This evening's hearing agenda is posted on the town's website. On the agenda, next to each application is the amount owed to the Town of Barnstable for the cost of advertisements. Please send your checks to the Conservation Division at 230 South Street before the hearing. Remote participations. The Conservation Commission's public hearing will be held by remote participation as a result of an act extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed up by the governor on March 29, 2023, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. Remote public access to this hearing should be provided in the following manner. 1, the hearing will be televised via Xfinity Channel 8 or High Definition Channel 1072. It may also be accessed via Town of Barnstable's Government's Access Channel. 2, the real-time public comment can be addressed to the Conservation Commission utilizing the Zoom link 851-0474-6670 or use the toll-free phone number 888-475-4499 as shown on the agenda. 3rd, the public can also email the comments to ed.hoops@town.barnstable.ma.us at least 8 hours prior to the hearing. Happy New Year. This is the first hearing for 2025. There's several things happening for the last few days. First of all, Darcy, our conservation administrator, submitted her retirement paper on Monday. And we'll miss Darcy as our administrator and as our friend. We hope that she will have enjoy her retirement. And this afternoon, the town has also promoted Ed as our interim administrator. Congratulations, Ed. Good luck. We have 2 RDA. The first one is Ted Cochran. Proposed additions to the existing single-family home at 90 Vineyard Road, contoured as shown on Assessors Map 016, Parcel 019. Brett?
Yes. Good evening, members of the commission. Brad Holmes from the ECR on behalf of Todd Cochran for his property at 90 Vineyard Road. Would it be helpful if I share my screen?
Yes, please.
I'll give you just a quick aerial image of the site just so you can have a feel for the site. This is on the east side of Vineyard Road. It's a single family residential property. There's a tennis court, a well-maintained home and landscape and lawn. Zoom out just a little bit so you can kind of see the extent of the property. Bring in the site plan. So what we're proposed in this request is a small addition on the inside of the house. The house is kind of like an L, so it's on the, I'll say, a courtyard-ish kind of area of the house. It's a small addition, approximately 130 square feet. It's located between the 50-foot and the 100-foot buffer zone. It occurs within an area of maintained lawn and landscape. There are no other resource areas such as flood zones or rare species or ACECs that we're dealing with. pull up the, I'll show you the photos if you got a chance to see that. I can zoom in a little. The addition will sit right here in this section of the house. This is an image just looking out from the rear of the house towards the top of the coastal bank. Here's an image looking from the coastal bank towards the rear of the house. And here's another image of the location of the proposed addition. So we feel that the proposed addition is minor in nature and that the commission could issue a determination that allows us to proceed without the filing of a notice of intent. We hope you agree. With that, I'll bring it back to the commission.
Thank you, Brett. Any question from the commissioner? Any questions? Did someone say anything?
No.
Okay. Channel 18, any public comment on this?
Yeah, we've got Chuck McKenzie has his hand raised.
Chuck?
Yes, I just wanted to say that we are one of Todd's abutters. We are at 70 Vineyard Road, and we are supportive of his application.
Thank you. Channel 18, any more public comment on this?
Seeing none.
Tom, can we go back to full screen, please? Thank you.
Could I have a motion to approve this project as a negative determination?
So moved.
Second,
Roll call.
Abadili,
Aye.
Oscar, aye. Lee,
Aye.
Sampu.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, it's unanimous.
Thank you. Good luck, Brett.
Thank you very much. Glad to be the first one of 2025 and started off for a good night for you guys. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. The second RDA is Linda Rand to enclose existing L-shaped deck without expansions to build mudroom, all-season room, and small open deck at 101 Southgate Drive, Hyannis, as shown at Assessors Map 306, parcel 265. Linda?
Yes. Is the video, is it on? Yep. My
Yep,
speech?
it's
Yeah,
showing.
hi, I'm here. Hi,
What you want to do on the project?
good evening. Basically, if you're looking at the drawing, the existing deck, the side that is adjacent to the house on the driveway side, the 8x16 side, that part would be closed in to have a mudroom area. And then in the back, the larger part of the deck, which is currently a 12x20, would be broken into two. So you'd have 12x14 would be enclosed for an all-season room, and a very small open deck would be left, a 12x6 open deck. So it's not totally enclosing all the existing permitted structure. The structure currently exists. There's no vegetation there. The supports will be hand dug. There's no use of machinery. There's no full foundation being added on. And as I said, this was permitted originally, and it's basically just to allow myself to have a little bit more space and room.
Thank you. Any question from the commissioner? Louise?
I just wanted to make sure, because it's not indicated, I don't think on the drawing, is the little section that is going to be a deck on your project and the steps, is that all there already?
It is. It's right beside the stairway. The existing stairs and that portion of the deck would be open, and just 2/3 of the back of the deck would be enclosed for the all-season room.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question from the commissioner? Seeing none. Channel 18, any public comment on this?
Seeing none.
None. Could I have a motion to approve this project as a negative determination?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Abedili,
Aye.
Foster, aye. Lee,
Aye.
Sampu.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, it's unanimous.
Thank you. Good luck, Linda.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
Happy New Year. We have 3 NOIs. The first one is Michael Brunstein's to modify and expand existing permitted pier at 132 Point of Pines Avenue, Centerville, as shown on Assessors Map 230, parcel 064. John.
Good evening, everyone. John O'Day from Sullivan Engineering Consulting, representing the applicant, Michael Bronstein. I'll work on bringing up the plan for you all. This property is located at 132 Point of Pines. It is a property that's been in this family for 50 plus years. We were before you within the last year to reconstruct the dwelling, which is well underway. We're now down looking at the shorefront. There is an existing timber pier. It was permitted as existing in the early 90s. It's obviously in disrepair. Some of the sections are not deployed at this time, and what is there has been lifted out of the water. So we're looking to replace it with something pretty typical for this commission. We're looking to replace it with a seasonal aluminum structure, as we've kind of done at all these project sites over the last 10 years or so. We are seeking to basically go out one more section, and that would allow for a little bit of freeboard underneath a boat berthed along this northeast side as the season goes on and the lake drops, come August or so. We're also seeking to add just one extra section to the L. I think that this is a configuration that we've used at many other properties on the lakes over the last years. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about the proposal.
Thank you, John. Any question from the commissioner?
Yes.
John?
Ed, I believe that this fairly well, or Tom, fairly well complies with our freshwater guidelines, does it not?
I
Yes,
believe it does, but I think
I think so.
Yes, it does.
Okay, thank you. No more questions, Tom.
Any other question from the commissioner?
Yeah,
Who?
me, Louise.
Louise?
I mean, this is not significant really, but there is a teeny tiny orientation of the line of the dock, right?
there is, we're trying to more align it onto the property, basically starting at the same point, but giving a little bit of extra room to that easterly property line.
So that's shown on the drawing. Is that important, Ed, to have that in the narrative? Does the narrative go in there?
You can't see it on the drawing though.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can see it on the drawing, so I think it's visible there, so I don't think that you need to
Have it.
add it to a special section to the description.
Okay, thank you.
One more point, Tom, if I could jump in. I
Yeah, go
assume
ahead.
a condition would be removal of the old, all of the old pilings, whatever else might be left in the water from the existing wood pier, correct? That would be one of the conditions.
Yes.
Thank you.
John, is that your plan, part of your plan to remove all the piling, the existing piling?
The existing structure will be entirely removed. Yes, we're fine with that.
Okay, thanks. Channel 18, any public comment on this?
Seeing none.
None. Could I have a motion to approve this project with the conditions that the existing pilings should be removed as part of this project?
So
As
moved.
well as the other normal conditions, correct?
Yeah,
Yes,
those are all standard.
Boilerplate.
Thank you, Pete.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Abedili,
Aye.
Foster, aye. Lee,
Aye.
Sam Poo.
Aye.
It's unanimous, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Good luck,
Thank
John.
you very much, everybody.
The next one is 88 Hayes Road LLC to demolish the existing sunroom and patio to construct an additions to the single-family dwelling, as well as a new proposed patio at 88 Hayes Road, Barnstable, as shown on the Assessors Map 210, Parcel 098. Chuck.
Good evening, Chuck Rowland, Cape and Islands Engineering. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm before you tonight representing the owners of 88 Hayes Road. We have a property that's about 3.5 of an acre developed abutting Lake Woquacket, which is a great pond in Centerville. Presently, the property is developed with a single family dwelling that the assessor says it was built in 1986. So the work we are proposing is a proposed patio and a proposed addition. We are moving back a modest, moving further away from the wetland in the 50-foot buffer with a 51 square foot reduction in the 0 to 50-foot buffer. We'll also be incorporating a work limit for construction access to get around, as well as providing roof runoff. I think it's a fairly minor project. It's all within previously disturbed areas. And I think there is granted it's minor, but I think it's a net increase to benefit to the resource area. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions you might have.
Yes.
Just one thing, Chuck, I think Ed may have mentioned it to you. As you mentioned before, there is a slight calculations on terms of the mitigations that need to be corrected. So we should do a revised plan to correct those calculations.
Ed did bring that up to me. I actually have the revised plan in front of you tonight that I revised on the 2nd. So I flipped the 4-to-1 and 3-to-1. And so on this plan, I have a net required mitigation of negative 186 square feet. I don't remember what the calculation was before, but
129.
129. So it's
Still negative.
still substantially negative required mitigation. So
What is the date on the revised plan, Chuck?
January 2nd. I even got the year right this time, which is a Christmas miracle.
Okay, thank you. Any question from the commissioner? John?
Just a quick question. On the drawing, if you see it says proposed lawn, well, what is that right now, Chuck?
So are you talking about the area that I have
Yes.
right here?
Yes,
So
I am.
that's actually existing lawn. The proposed is the dimension, and then below it is the EX for existing dimension. So it's lawn now. We're proposing to keep it lawn. So we're not proposing lawn.
Okay.
It's kind of two different labels, but yeah.
Okay, that clarifies that concern. Thank you.
Yep.
Luis?
I thought you had kind of a generous limit of work line, that it was that maybe it could be brought in a little bit.
I'm happy to shift it in. I have the plan in front of me. Yeah, I mean, we've given ourselves 20 feet there. I don't see why we can't shift that into something closer to like 15, if that's okay with you.
You okay with me?
Great.
15 or 10, how much do you need?
Yeah.
10 always just kind of ends up being a little tight. I'll bring it in further on the south side. I think the contractor is on here if he wants to speak up, but if you're okay with shift, as opposed to it being 15 feet away from the structure or 20 feet away from the structure, we'll shift it to 15. Get it
Yeah,
a little further away from the lake, especially on the south side. Maybe we'll protect that tree a little bit better.
Yeah.
Great.
Someone was saying something. Is that your contractor?
I'm all set. He's got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other question from the commissioner? Channel 18, any public comment on this?
Seeing none.
None. Could I have a motion to approve this project with the condition of receipt of a revised plan showing reduce the limit of the work limit line to closer to 15 feet instead of 20?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Abadili,
Aye.
Foster, aye. Lee,
Aye.
Sampu.
Aye.
It's unanimous, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night, Chuck.
The last one is Nicholas Davis Samurai and Erica Lynch Person, Wild Away Realty Trust, removal and reconstructions of a single-family home, accessory structures, swimming pool, updated utility, a sewage disposal system upgrade, stormwater drainage, vegetation restorations, and associated site improvement at 205 Superior Road, Osterville, as shown in the Assessors Map 095, Parcel 013-002. Sean?
Good evening, Sean Riley from Ty and Bond. For some reason, my camera, I don't know if you could see me on camera, but my camera doesn't seem to be working on my end. If you remember, we came before you, we self-reported, there was some clearing, and we identified a isolated vegetated wetland. We spoke with Ed and Darcy, and after that, a enforcement order was issued. Conditions of that enforcement order included full restoration of the isolated vegetated wetland and the 50-foot buffer. Since our last meeting, we went out and we had Mike Ball from Marsh Matters identify and flag the boundary of the wetland. We added that boundary to the plan that you have in front of you. And because we have some work under the existing order of conditions that we're doing that falls within the 100-foot buffer, Darcy recommended that we file a new notice of intent to capture that work within the newly identified buffer zone, and essentially to take the other project that is ongoing, take those conditions, bring those into these conditions as the work progresses, and to essentially close out the other order of conditions. So the plan that you have in front of you represents the project that was already approved with a restoration plan that was submitted by Wilkinson Ecological that I can share.
Can you share the screen? Yes, please.
Yes, I can. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So this is the plan that Wilkinson has prepared for restoring the 50-foot buffer. None of the trees were cut down within the 50-foot buffer. You can see them in gray identified here. They are infilling with holly, clethra, chokeberry, arrowwood, a good variety vegetation. It will actually be more vegetated than it was prior to any of the grubbing activities that they did. The portion of the project that falls within the 100-foot buffer to that isolated west wetland is the pool structure, some pool equipment, again, all outside of the 50, and a small access drive that we are proposing to get access to the trees that they are planting. If you remember, originally, we were proposing a number of trees in an orchard, fruit trees. They're actually going to grow some nut trees. So to get access back there, it's probably be a reinforced lawn that leads down into that area, with the remaining portions of the area being that meadow essentially throughout the property. They have a very small lawn area that's actually outside of the buffer zone, but everything else is they're maintaining a large portion of it as meadow area. So we will have a fully vegetated 50-foot buffer when the project is done. And I think that we have addressed the conditions of actually we're ahead of time on the conditions that were set forth within the enforcement order. So with that, I'll open it up to any questions you may have.
Thank you, Sean. One question, Sean, have you received officially the DEP number?
We didn't get notified that number, but the number has posted on the DEP website. But I did not. Typically, I receive an email confirmation of that number, and we have not received that number. But our permitting specialist went online today and saw that there was a number issued. The only comment that was made by DEP was whether or not we were planning on filing a COC after this new order was issued to close out the old projects, and that is going to be the case, that we would request a COC after the issuance of order of conditions or any change of the conditions and acceptance of the older conditions within that.
Kim, can you confirm whether you have that official receipt of the DEP number, or are we still waiting for something official?
Same situation as Sean mentioned. I checked the DEP website and they did issue the number, but they did not send us the letter. So we do not, the letter normally will include comments, but we have not received that yet. We haven't received anything from DEP saying that the number was issued. I just saw it on their website.
Right. So, Sean, as a caution, I prefer to have a continuance, just waiting for the official receipt of the DEP number, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we don't have an issue with that. We're still progressing under the enforcement and adhering to those conditions, so we could ask for a continuance.
Okay. Okay. Questions from the commissioner? Anyone? Don't.
Mr. Chairman, I have a couple comments then, just to go along with this. Just so Don, I just noticed this afternoon or earlier today. As part of the enforcement order, we had asked that you put a note on addressing that restoration area, that it should be noted that the area is being, the 50-foot buffer is being restored under the enforcement order. And I didn't notice that note on the plan. So I think, in the meantime, if you could, I think we'll need to do a revised plan for that. And the other thing, I believe we were looking at the delineation was done, I assume, by, was it Marsh Matters who did that?
That's correct, Mike Ball. And we submitted the wetland delineation forms. They should be in the record.
Yeah, well, so we'll need to have an additional note at the delineation as to who did the delineation and what the date of that delineation. Just add that to the plan as well, the site plan.
We can do that.
And hi, this is Katrine Higgins from Wilkinson. If I could just respond to your first comment, Ed. On our restoration plan, we do note it's just their note is within the 50 to 100 buffer just south of the proposed accessory structure. There's a note that says permanent markers to be installed along the 50-foot buffer edge of restoration area. We heard you in that first hearing.
Yeah, we have that. There was a specific condition of the enforcement order that's said specifically to mention that the restoration is being done under enforcement. So that's why we're looking to add that note.
Okay.
Understood.
But yeah, I agree with everything else you said there.
Okay, thank you.
And then that's just a general practice when we have a wetland delineation. Usually the information is added as a note to the engineering plan, so we have the same informations. I just noticed that this afternoon when I saw that delineation form from Marsh,
Marsh Matters, yep.
Yeah, For Mike. Sorry, Mike. I remember your name, but not.
So
Ben, go ahead.
I was going to say we can refer back to that delineation form as well on our site plan. Marsh Matters with the dates of the form that were submitted.
Yeah. 10/18. Any public comment on this one?
Seeing none.
None. Sean, there's a couple of things that I want to edit as a conditions. Number one, Wilkinson will be the third practitioner on this project. If there's any change in terms of the third practitioner, we will require a written notifications to the staff for review and approval. And then secondly, is the annual report for 3 years. And do you need a condition for invasive removal as part of the ongoing condition?
I don't think there are any out there, are there, Katrina? It looked pretty.
There's not, but it certainly, if for some reason invasives popped in there, it certainly would be helpful to have that condition.
Yeah.
We'd appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. So Sean, when do you think you have continuance? Is that 14 good enough for you?
Yes.
Okay. Could I have a motion to approve this project with the conditions of number one is the Wilkinson is the third practitioner. Any change in the third practitioner will require written notification to the staff for review and approval, and the annual report for 3 years, and allow for the invasive removal as an ongoing conditions, and also need a revised plans to show the wetland delineation informations and the additional label to show the 50-foot buffer restoration is under the enforcement order. And then we need a continuance to January the 14th, waiting for the issuance of the DEP number.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Chairman, before you take that vote, as you know, Tom, I will be unavailable on the 14th, and therefore you're down to just 3 commissioners that can vote on that. I think you can open anyways for the quorum at the meeting. So I think, I believe it, correct me if I'm wrong, that you can go forward with that vote. But just for the record, you're only going to have 3 commissioners that can vote on that.
Right, right.
I think you'll have to get somebody to Mullinize in. If I think Bill should be back, so he would be able to review the minutes and review the tape, and then he should be able to go ahead and make that.
Yeah.
If it's any easier, you can carry it to the next meeting and I would be there, but whatever's easiest for you all.
Let's do another 14. Roll call.
Abedili.
Aye.
Foster, aye. Lee.
Aye.
Shampoo.
Aye.
It's unanimous, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Good luck, Sean.
Thank you all. We'll see you on the 14th.
Yep. And then we have one continuances. Randall Green, installation of a seasonal dock and constructions of a 4-foot wide footpath with associated timber retaining wall and timber landscaping step at 101 Center Lane, Centerville, as shown on the Assessors Maps 251, parcel 220. This is a continuance from December the 17th, and the quorum is every commissioner tonight. We have received the DEP number as SE3-6234, and the NHGSP letter is also came in, and it mentioned that the 2 things under the Wetland Protection Act, the division has determined that this project, as currently proposed, will not adversely affect the actual resource area habitats of state's protected rare life species. Under the MESA, the divisions has determined that this project, as currently proposed, will not result in prohibited take of state listed rare species. With that, could I have a motion to close the public comment and authorize the staff to issue the order of conditions?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Abedili.
Aye.
Foster, aye. Lee.
Aye.
Shampoo.
Aye.
It's unanimous, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We have 2 sets of minutes, December the 10th and December the 17th.
Thank you, everyone.
Could I have a motion to approve the 2 sets of minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Abbott Ely,
Aye.
Foster, aye. Lee,
Aye.
Sampu.
Aye.
It's unanimous, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Our next hearing is at 3 o'clock on January the 14th. And could I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Abbott Ely,
Aye.
Foster, aye. Lee,
Aye.
Sampu.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 7:05.